Okay, this year we are running low on cash, so I am making most of the Christmas presents that I'm giving this year. This first project, you need a warm hat. I got this in the men's section because they don't have particularly warm hats in the ladies section. This is a fully lined hat and a pair of fancy earrings, a pair of eyeglasses, tags if you want to sew a made by or this belongs to tag in it, a pair of embroidery needles, some embroidery thread, and some scissors. First thing we did was cut a usable length of the embroidery thread, and I stripped it down to 2 strands because it's just easier for me to sew with that way. And I threaded it in the needle. I knotted it, ran it through the front of the hat. You want to make sure you have the front of the hat. If you look back here, let me find it. You can see a tag in the back. That's the back, so we have it threaded through the front. Then we're going to separate this pair of earrings to where this hole is exposed. I've already done that because it's hard for me to hold the camera and do that at the same time. But we have the hole exposed. We have our thread started. And we're going to, well, let me get my glasses on. That's why I have it on the list of supplies, because a lot of us need that. Okay, there I have it's threaded through. And we're going to sew that right there. I'm not going to do the sewing process, but we've now turned a plain man's hat into a cute little winter hat for a young lady. So I will finish sewing that and knot it so that you can't see the knot. So the knot's going to be on the inside. Now these are iron-on labels, but I like to sew them on. I just I can either do a straight stitch on each side, or I can do a straight stitch all around. You can apply it however you like, but I like to stitch them on so that they'll stay in place and won't wear off or wash off. And that concludes the first project. You can sew any other types of things onto these hats that you want. You can do beads and sequins. You could do sequin trim around. But if you sew things along this direction, make sure that you stretch it out and then sew it. Otherwise, it'll break the thread when they go to put it on their head, because this is a stretchy thing. The stretch won't affect things like this that are just sewn in one spot and hanging. But you can decorate these any way you like. Use your imagination. Y'all have a Merry Christmas. Thanks. Bye.